People around
You
this
don't have
country
a
don't like
right to work for whoever you want to. You have a right to say what you want,
but you're
not to
forgetting
be
about the
employed by
threat,
who you want.
which
All right.
Abby's going to play.
If you think that's
Hey,
exactly
the question,
what it
here's
was.
the reason I want to play this, okay? Because I think we're willfully ignoring the threat, which was explicit. It wasn't implicit, it was explicit. Listen to what he actually said.
They have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. And we can get into some ways that we've been trying to reinvigorate the public interest and some changes that we've seen. But frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
It'd be a shame what happens to your nice network. It'd be a shame what happens to your nice show. That's a threat.
Well, and not only that.
All right. Let me get this out the way. Guys, subscribe to my channel, put a like to my channel. I want y'all guys to watch the whole video, and also I want y'all guys to follow my journey. Let me reach 450 subscribers, maybe possibly 1,000 subscribers. Um, and I just want y'all guys to follow my journey. My goal is to be a journalist, and that's what I want to do. And just follow my journey, man. Let's get into this video.
But then Donald Trump took to Truth Social and then said further, that leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also terrible. Do it, NBC. I mean,
it will never end. But, just worth noting, just a couple years ago, back in 2019, Brandon Carr, he tweeted this on a different topic. Should the government censor speech it doesn't like? Of course not. The FCC does not have a roving mandate to police speech in the name of the public interest. And yet, he is doing exactly that today. Where does this end? Where does this end in your mind? You are fully comfortable with the government saying, if you don't do this, if you don't get this person off the air who said something that was wrong or that you did not like, we are going to drop the hammer on you?
No,
you're good with that?
No, I didn't like it when the Biden administration worked with big tech during
so
COVID
then why
and
are
said,
you defending it?
I'm not defending this. I'm saying right now, if ABC comes out and says we were forced to do this, we don't want to do this, I think this is part of a larger business decision on their part that goes back to what Scott said before about their feelings.
ABC.
This is a failing industry in terms of late night television.
I get it. Listen,
this is their excuses.
Your television, failing industry, the whole world.
Look, exactly. It is a failing industry because nobody watch Jimmy Kimmel's show anymore. Okay, a lot of people used to watch it, but they stopped watching because they went all the way to the left. They went woke, right? So a lot of people got tired of it. You know what I mean? A lot of people got tired of it. So that's what happened. And two things could be true at the same time. That's also what he said. So you gotta think about the ratings tank, okay? So you gotta think about that. Like they lose a lot of money with that. So they 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 found the reason to remove his show. That's that's what happened. So the things that he said, the stuff that he said, that gave them the reason to remove his show. So and also you gotta think about it. If you wanna produce a show, right? If you wanna produce a show, you gotta pitch it to these companies, and if it's good or not, they gotta air your pilot. Now, determine on your pilot, and if your pilot does well, they order a series for you. If not, what happens? They're not gonna order a series. They gotta remove the show. That's how it is. Or if they order a whole series, like a season one, 12 episodes or whatever the case may be, and though that whole 12 episodes suck, what happens? They cancel your show. That's how it is. So I don't know why they took so long to take his show off, but I think that's what I think. I think that's what happened. Guys, let me know what you think. Comment down below. Let me know what you think.
Understands that, but Nexstar has a very clear financial interest in not getting on the wrong side of that guy whose clip we just played. Right? You don't see the problem with that?
And I think right now they're looking at the larger business circumstances, and they're hoping that people like you and others would point that direction instead of focusing on
you
their
at least see an
decision.
ethical consideration for Carr, a conflict of interest for Carr, some sense of his position as a government official to make that kind of threat?
Since when is the FCC an attack dog for any political party?
Well, it has been against Howard Stern. It has been against others in the past, which I also object to. There is a slice out of our First Amendment for broadcast, which I think is wrong. And it's based on wrong decisions years and years ago about precious airwaves and about going into the home and so on and so forth. If we believe in the First Amendment, we believe in the First Amendment. And now we have this fascinating thing happening on the right where you have Ted Cruz defending hate speech because he doesn't want his speech taken off. And so where does free speech, is your question, Ebby, where is free speech here then? Where is that line? How do we know where that line is now?
Well, I think it's similar to the debate we've had this week beyond just this topic to people who said horrific, awful things after the assassination of Charlie Kirk last week. Now, I think it's awful, but they have a right to say that. But I also think employers have a right to say, not just in this instance, but in so many others we documented, if you say something that's inconsistent with the principles of our organization, be it a college, a business, a nonprofit, we don't want you on
Do you
our
think
payroll.
Fox should take Brian Kilmeade off the air for what he said about homeless people?
I think in all those cases, they have a right to do that. Whether
Do you think they should? I'm asking for your judgment. You talked about a critic before, or you're a critic now.
doesn't-
Do you
doesn't
think
offend-
Fox should fire
I
Brian
didn't say that they had
Kilmeade?
to take Jimmy Kimmel off. I said they have a right to. In each of these
Do
cases,
you think they should at Fox?
I'm telling you, they have a right to. That's what I'm talking
But
about.
you continue to talk about how it's a business
I don't know
decision.
why
But
they
the
debate
reality
each other.
is that whether it is a threat, whether it is Donald Trump also threatening to go after organizations just because they have different views than him, he is threatening to go after the far left. All of these aren't business decisions. This is the federal government that is using their power in order to silence the media and people that disagree with them. And that is what is alarming.
So there was some reporting tonight that Kimmel was going to address this on his show tonight, but rather than allow this company to handle this the way that maybe they saw fit, maybe he might have apologized. They decided to go this route, and I have to believe, I guess, because it's in part because Trump. You read one of the tweets, but here's what he said on August 6th after Colbert was taken off the air or his show was canceled. Here's what he said in terms of his order of operations here. Let's play the soundbite from Trump.
Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next. They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going. I don't know, but I would imagine because they get, Colbert has better ratings than Kimmel or Fallon.
Okay, let's just take a moment and let's pretend that Donald Trump is not the president. Let's pretend that it's somebody else, and that person says, "I don't like this person. I don't like that person. They're going to be gone next because I want them gone." I think the question that we have to ask ourselves in this moment is, if you took the partisanship out of it right now, would you be comfortable with a president of the United States saying to any private corporation, television network, cable?
Oh, wait a minute. Under Biden and administration, wasn't y'all guys doing that? Wasn't y'all censoring everybody? So I don't understand. Y'all played that game though. That's the thing I don't understand. Y'all played that game. Y'all was the one that was censoring everybody. Now ABC Nexstar, or we call that Nexstar, remove his show. Now it's a problem. Now you're saying it's Trump for it, or all this other crap. No, his ratings sucks. Okay, nobody watches shows anymore. Guys, comment down below. Comment down below and let me know if y'all guys watch the show.
Broadcast that this is how they have to program their TV in terms of who is on and who is not.
I don't have a problem with the president expressing an opinion about people who express opinions about him. And regarding Kimmel, whether he was going to address it or not, I read that he was going to address it, but that he wasn't going to apologize, which I am sure was going to make Sinclair and Nexstar go crazy.
But what about Trump using the government to enforce it? Because it's not just his words. He is also using the government to enforce his words.
Well, it is your opinion that they were threatening them. It is my opinion that they had a larger decision to make regarding their business interests.
Twice now. It is not my opinion that Brendan Carr said, you can either do this or I will do that. That's what he said. That's not my opinion. That's a fact.
Look, my view is all these companies have business decisions to make that are based on more than just what a singular person said in an interview. They've got affiliates to deal with. They've got advertisers to deal with. I promise
you
that when Jimmy Kimmel does what he does,
why do you have to bring the FCC into it?
Well, look, he gave an interview. I can't tell you that if I were the head of the FCC, I would have given that interview. It sounded a little over the top to me, but I still believe that what's going on here has more to do with their business than it does with the government.
Then why won't you guys denounce it? That's the thing. Why won't you say what the FCC, what they did is wrong? I mean, I think that's the problem. It was a threat from the administration, and I understand the business dealing 100%. Just like the first ABC settlement, I truly believe that they were looking at it. It was a business deal. It was a business decision there, and that's why they moved forward with that. But when it comes to an actual threat from the federal government, that's wrong. It is wrong for our government to threaten these organizations when they have the power to approve mergers.
They didn't have to do this. They looked at all of the factors and said, okay, it's time for us to take Jimmy Kimmel off the air. I think there's more going on than just Brendan Carr's interview. All the time the president criticizes media outlets who then go out and continue to do what he hates it.
He's
saying that he hates $15 billion.
Yeah, but you got to think about it too, though. Like, they give out fake news and biased information, and that's what they do. Bias. You know what I mean? They give out fake news. Who wants to continue to keep listening to that? Giving out false information to things that's not, you know what I mean? That's not true. So biased.
What's going to happen? Nothing. What's going to happen?
This is an attempt to intimidate the New York Times. And you've heard me on this show. I'm not crazy about the New York Times coverage right now.
I mean, listen.
But they're trying to intimidate them. The same thing with ABC. The same thing with CBS. This is the power of the government brought down on speech, on the press.
Maybe it's just the power of someone in the government forcing a little self-reflection in these media companies for what they've been doing and the way they've been operating.
Do you believe in free speech or not?
Of course I do.
Yeah, but it means you're saying we got to tie our hands and never fight back. All of us who've been attached for
so let Jimmy Kimmel fight back.
So now it's about fighting back. Do you
yes, I think when he speaks out, when he says these people are bad and disgusting and they're
not.
I totally agree with that. But I don't believe that means an elected official like myself or others can say, no, just go ahead and talk. I'm not going to push back on you. That's outrageous.
Do you understand that the threat of the president suing you for saying things that they don't like, and the threat of the government preventing you from conducting businesses?
Well, the reason the president won in the past when he was a candidate was because of actions they took were contradictory to what they actually reported.
So when Elon Musk was spreading lies about, well, all kinds of things, but let's just put on the table the attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband, and he was spreading falsehoods about claiming that there was some kind of illicit relationship, completely false stuff. If the government had dropped the hammer on Elon Musk, he would have been fine with that?
No, I'd say
why can't we be intellectually honest and apply the same principles across the board? Why do we have to create a carve-out
you're saying if the government did something, I'm saying they did. They made a decision today that they announced that.
It's amazing how you're acting how Trump is powerless. He's just out there saying a few things.
No, I think he's extremely powerful, but actually speaking to the voices of millions.
All right, guys. Guys, comment down below and let me know what you think about this video, and let me know what you think about Jimmy Kimmel show being canceled. Do you agree with that, or do you agree with that? Or just let me know, do you think that was the right thing to do? And yeah, man. So guys, subscribe to my channel, put a like to my channel, and also thank you guys for watching the whole video and following my journey. Peace, man. Take care, guys.